Okay, I've hit a little patch in the field that is absolutely hoaching. Hoaching, that means there's lots of coke, charcoal, hot rocks, whatever you want to call it. But this signal here sounds a wee bit different. Whatever it is, sounds like it's almost on the surface. Could it be a wee coin? Let's see. You beauty! Look at that impression. It literally just fell apart. Like coin was, oh, who knows, stuck in there for years, decades maybe even. And it split apart as I threw the spade out, and there we go. We have got a coin. Oh, it's George V again. Gorgeous George. Looks like a penny, and it looks like it's in pretty good condition. So let's give it a wee rub-a-dub and see if we can get a date off it. Beautiful patina. It's got this lovely olivey green colour. Georgius V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith and Emperor of India. There he is, looking to the left with his beautiful moustache. And the back is in pretty good nick. Well, the date is at least. You've got Britannia seated. It would have said 1 penny. And a very clear date, 1917. So pushing on towards the latter half of World War I. And this one was a really, really faint signal. And now it's out, it sounds better. So, somewhere in here. Got a wormhole. Don't see anything metal sticking out anywhere. Let's break it in half. Not there. Must be in there. It is. Right, anything this time? Nope, feels quite heavy. Right, break it in half again. Nothing. And it's definitely in there. There we go. What's that? Is that going to be a bit of coke? Well, whatever it is, that's the signal. It is not a piece of coke. It's a thing. Not sure what this one is. It's, I think, copper. And it's got this kind of rim around the edge. Can't see any sign of any lettering. I thought maybe it's another sort of medallion like Fletch got, but I can't see anything. Okay, we've got another digger. It's been quiet for about half an hour. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but hey, who knows. There it is. And that ain't a coin. Don't know what that is, but it's not a coin. It's like a bit of lead. It is. I think. Oh, it's literally... whatever it is, it's literally falling apart. Well, I thought I could almost see like a horse. See the horse's head there? But I think it's just casting marks, whatever it is. Can't see anything sort of discernible on it, so I'm guessing junk. Another crisp signal right there. Not sure if it's a coin or not, but maybe a button. I think it's going to be junk because it's changed tone quite rapidly. Was that it there actually? That is it there. What have we got? We've got another bottle top. We're back on the whiskey. We are back on the whiskey, I think. Do we have a maker? Make it a little bit more interesting. Still got the glass, so try and not cut myself. Let's give it a wee rub. I think it's going to be of the plain variety. Yep, can't see anything on there. I've got a very nice crisp signal right here. That sounds very good. Let's see what we get. Okay, we're out the hole. It was a couple of spadefuls down, and it seems to be somewhere in here. Seems to be in there. We've got a clod. Oh, you beauty. We have got silver, or a ring pull. Right, never easy to do this one-handed. Have we got a hammered coin? A moment of truth. Oh, can't get it one-handed. There we go. That is a silver coin. Oh, that's a beauty. That's an absolute beauty. Right. Do we have another side? Oh, I don't want to pull it apart too much in case I break it. Oh no, I've dropped it. Right, even better. Right. Here we go. Right, let's give it a clean up off camera and I'll come back to you. This is a beauty. Gavilimus 111 de Gracia or de Gracia. Gavilimus is William and 111 is the third. De Gracia, by the grace of God. So William the Third, by the grace of God. And you can see his bust looking to the right hand side. And on the other side we have got a date. We have got 1697 at the top. And it will say something along the lines of Mag Britannia, so Great Britain, France et Hibernia, and Ireland. Rex, king. So king of Great Britain, Ireland and France, 1697. So in the centre you've also got the 3 lions of England. You can see the 3 fleurs de lily or flowers of the lily of France. There will also be a harp of Ireland and a rampant lion of Scotland. So this is one of the most divisive monarchs in British history. William the Third of England, he is also sometimes known as William of Orange or King Billy in Scotland and Ireland. In Scotland he was actually William the Second because we'd only had one William before, but in England they'd had 2. So Gavilimus William the Third. So this is an English coin, because otherwise it would say William the Second. Now he was one of the most divisive characters because he took the throne as a Protestant, as King of Holland or the Dutch Republic during what's called the Glorious Revolution of 1688. He was complicit in basically a coup to throw his uncle and also his father-in-law, James the Seventh, who was King of Scotland, but he was also called James the Second of England. And he was a Roman Catholic, and a lot of people, particularly in England, wanted a Protestant on the throne. So poor old James the Seventh was kicked off the throne, and William came over with his wife, who was called Mary the Second, and she was the daughter of James the Seventh, but she had married Protestant King William of Holland. So they came over and seized the throne in what's called the Glorious Revolution. And that kicked off, amongst other things, the Jacobites. So the Jacobites were a group of people, many of them Catholic, but some of them Episcopalian, which is kind of a halfway house between Protestant and Catholic. And they were called Jacobites because they were supporters of the exiled King James. In Latin, James is Jacobus, so that's where the name Jacobite comes from. And he famously defeated the Irish in Ireland in the Battle of the Boyne in 1690, and James fled back to France, where he was cousin to one of the Louis, Louis the 15th or Louis the 16th, if I remember rightly, and he lived in exile. There were various Jacobite risings through the 1700s, including most famously the Bonnie Prince Charlie, who was his grandson, attempted to take the throne back in 1745. But he was defeated at the Battle of Culloden in 1746. And that is the end of it, the Jacobite risings. So this is a really historically important coin, probably the best condition one I think I've ever found. It's actually been bent. Now, I suspect that's been done probably by the plough, but it could also be as a love token. Men, if they were courting young women, would often smooth the coin off, which is why I don't think it's a love token, because it looks in too good a condition. But they would smooth the coin off and they would then bend it and they would present it to their potential lover, and if she wasn't particularly interested, she would throw it away. So you often find them bent with this sort of two directions, but this one is more bent on one side than the other, so I think this might be a drop and it's just been rumbling around in the field. But that is a beauty. William III, King Billy. I think he died in about 17, I think it was 1702 or thereabouts, and he was replaced by his sister-in-law, Anne. She died without children, and she was then replaced by George I, Hanover George, or German George. So this is a really important coin from one of the most volatile parts in not just Scottish, but also British and Irish history. Absolute cracker. Albert's got coin number 2, Victoria de Gracia, Brit Regina FD. So it's basically Victoria, by the grace of God, Queen of the Britons, Defender of the Faith. And that is a young head penny, so it's probably going to be 1860s, 70s, yep, there we go. 1874, 1 penny. Nice coin, that'll clean up quite nicely. It's got a good patina to it as well. It's quite almost black in colour. And as I mentioned before, she was the world's biggest drug dealer. She went to war with the Chinese over opium and made a complete and absolute fortune. Well, that moment again where you just catch a glimpse of gold and you think, ya beauty, and then you turn it over and you realise it's yet another gold gilded button. All is not lost. It might not be a gold coin or gold jewellery, but it's got decoration. In the centre you can see this sort of horizontal lines and a crown. So this is almost certainly a military button. Oof, someone's shooting at us. Yeah, this is almost certainly a military button. It would have been gold gilded. It would have looked amazing when it was first made. You can see there's quite a lot of gilding still on the back. And because of its size, I'm guessing this was probably a waistcoat button, or failing that, probably 1 or 2 or 3 buttons that were worn on the sleeve as decoration. Date wise, I'm guessing it's probably going to be sometime in the 1880s through to the start of World War I. If anyone knows if it's maybe attached to a certain regiment, then let me know. We have another digger, but it could be charcoal or coke or hot rock or whatever you want to call it, because I'm hitting loads of it at the minute. But that sounds a little bit better than what I've been hearing before, so let's see. I was right enough, it was not charcoal, and no metal detecting day out would be complete without finding a spoon. I've not had any signals for probably about 20 minutes, half an hour, and that sounds as much like a coin as you're probably likely to hear. I think we have another coin, or a button. Don't be a button. It's not a button. That, look at that lovely imprint, and that is a coin. Looks like it's going to be George V again, 1929. So it's going to be Gorgeous George somewhere under all the crustiness. It is, yet again, you can just make out his moustached head looking to the left hand side. Georgius V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, and Emperor of India. And on the other side, 1 penny, Britannia, with the Roman helmet and the trident, and a very clear date of 1929. Well, Mr. Fletch left us about an hour and a half ago. He got that nice hammered coin. We'll need to look into that more. And he had to go back to work. And I think Albert's had a pretty good day out. He's got himself, what, 2 coins, 3 coins over the course of the day. And I'm absolutely made up with this coin. Gewillimus, or William III of England, William II in Scotland, and King of the Britons. On the other side, we have got, what way do we read it? Mag Britannia France et Hibernia Rex. So William III, by this time his wife Mary II, she had died. She died I think in 1692 or thereabouts. So he was ruling on his own, and it's King of Britain, France and Hibernia, or Ireland. And they maintained, the English maintained that they were kings of France from the time of Edward III, way back in the, when would that have been, about 1360, all the way through until the French Revolution in the end of the 18th century. They maintained that they were rightful kings of France. But I'm over the moon with this. On further inspection, I think it could be a love token, because it is definitely bent in both directions. So the idea was that your potential suitor would, normally they would smooth the coin off. That's what's thrown me. It's in quite good condition. Maybe he was just lazy, but normally you would smooth the coin off and then you would bend it at each extreme, and then you would present it to your potential lover. And if she wasn't interested, she would chuck it away, because normally it was smooth, so it couldn't be spent. But from a great period, well, not a great period for everyone, but from a very historical period in Scottish, British and Irish history. Brilliant, over the moon with that. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully we'll see you on the next dig. If you like what you saw, leave me a link, leave me a like or a thumbs up. If you don't follow already, then hit the subscribe button and the notifications, and hopefully we'll see you on the next dig. And with a bit of luck, it will be less windy, because it is blowing a hoolie. I'll turn into the wind a little bit, and there's a beautiful view in the distance of the hills of Perthshire.